35 riders going to the line today for MX2 as they prepare for the Ram qualifying race here, round 7 in France at Villars-sous-Écot. Obviously 10 points for a qualifying race win, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only 10 riders score, and so far with 4 wins, a third and a fourth. Jago Geerts only dropped 5 points, 55 points for him.
Coming into the French GP, Jago, he's confident. He has a 48-point lead in the championship. And he knows that he just needs to collect points. Even an off day for Jago, he should reach the podium. So he's not feeling any pressure. He's got the championship on his mind, and that's his focus. He's not distracted by anything.
Championship leader, number 93, Jago Geerts. 4 Ram qualifying race wins under his belt so far this year in 2023.
We already know the track in France was difficult for the qualifying race, and we saw that in MX2.
I've never seen a track that rough and challenging for the guys.
But the riders look like they are all in position here for MX2 Ram qualifying race action. 20 minutes plus 2. Who's it going to be? It's going to be an interesting first turn. Run down to the first turn here.
Qualifying race started quite well. Both Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 riders were up front. Thibault got the whole shot.
Benistant leads at home. Coonan over on the far side, or is it DeWolf? It's DeWolf in there, who takes over the lead immediately.
Thibault got passed by Kai DeWolf, and then Jago was right on Thibault.
But Benistant goes high and wide. His teammate has a snatch up the inside, just folds the front end.
Came down the steepest hill on the track. The bike kicked, and then coming down such a steep hill, he landed like cross-rutted in the ruts.
As soon as you get a twitch front or back end and you're in those ruts, there is nowhere to go.
Oh! Jago Geerts! Big crash. That is the problem. When you push too hard and fight, he is going to be winded. At the very least, big crash. Geerts out of third place.
It's all over from there. I don't think he could have done anything to save that, so the bike just pitched him straight over the bars. He got up, and we were thinking it was a massive crash, and I hope he's okay. And it looked like he might have been okay.
Initially, we saw him get back up and thought, okay, maybe he was winded, maybe he's okay, maybe he's going to line up for, the race on Sunday.
He walked back to the paddock. He was, he was hopeful that his wrist he obviously had pain in his wrist, so he was stretching it back and forth. He had the physio with him, Philippe. I think the pain wasn't going away, and the physio was also feeling something might be wrong, so he went straight to the medic after that, and then it was confirmed.
Got a sort of a wrist fracture, double wrist fracture. We don't know when he's back. Don't know when he's, how many GPs he's going to be off. All of a sudden, championship's blown wide open. Game on for the likes of Adamo, Kai DeWolf. Maybe Thibault Benistant, who's still a distance behind at this stage. But if he gets a good Grand Prix, all of a sudden, can he get himself back into the title chase?
Hello everybody and welcome to Villars-sous-Écot. It's round 7 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We're at the MXGP of France. we are live, as always, for this latest instalment of the best motocross series in the world. My name's Paul Mailing. Thanks for joining us once again for the FIM Motocross World Championship, where we return to Villars-sur-Lecombe for the first time since 2017.
When we come to the French Grand Prix, we're talking about one of the most passionate atmospheres and fan followings, you know, in the championship. Whether it's in the north in Aunay, towards the west in, you know, Saint-Jean-d'Angely, or towards kind of the southeast with Villars-sur-Lecombe, the kind of support that the French riders can rely on those events is second to none. Thibault has to be maturing. I think that's a natural consequence of being part of a factory team as well.
Thibault's had a few off GPs, let's say, 5th, 6th. That's not bad for the average rider, but for Thibault, you know, he wants to be winning.
Let's not forget, he's a two-time European champion. So he knows what it takes to win. He's won races, he's won Grand Prix before. He started the season strongly. 3 podiums in a row, the first 3 rounds. Then lost his way the next 3.
He's coming into his home GP a little bit down, but excited that he can potentially win the GP in front of his home crowd. I think that is his goal this weekend. He's going for it. He's here to win.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.
Gets alongside the Frenchman and he puts a squeeze on him as well. Oh, catches a horrible edge, skies it, Benistant goes through to Wolf, who comes back, barges down the inside of Benistant. And Benistant hard on the brakes, charges down the inside of the Wolf, regains that second position, the back end lights up again. Right, will he go to the inside? Yes, he does. Benistant through. 2 for 1 in the space of a lap. Benistant goes from 3rd to 2nd to 1st. The fans out there absolutely loving the show.
The French Grand Prix in MX2 was just wow. In and around those, 3-4 riders, there was Romain Mosdijk in there, Lucas Koenen in there, the 2 KTMs of Adamo and Everts. It was just fascinating. It was literally back and forth all weekend long. Probably one of the most exciting Grand Prix we've had.
Moves back into 2nd and Everts there. Looking to move into 3rd if he can. Towards the end of this lap, and he does immediately. Kind of Wolf into 2nd, Everts into 3rd in the space of about 100 metres. Oh, Adamo down the inside of Mosdijk as well. The Dutchman definitely getting roughed up. Oh, very tight between the 2 KTMs. Everts has to go defensive, can't afford to leave the door open, but by doing that, and he does go on the inside of the Wolf as well. I wasn't sure if the Wolf was going to get the drive out of there or not, but Everts now to 2nd place. Here comes Adamo. It's around the outside. Pushing hard downhill, is going to use this momentum around the outside here. And it works a treat, but he's going to have to get his elbows out. That's exactly what he does. Moves into 3rd and leaves De Wolf out to dry. Oh, back end, a little bit of a rock there. Almost unseated the Italian. Oh, and Adamo doesn't get good drive. And Kai De Wolf alongside him.
When the rider that had dominated the championship to that point, who was 48 points clear going into the French Grand Prix, Jago Geerts, goes out, how much closer everybody is and how more exciting that racing can be. So It was Thibault Benistant, though, who came out on top.
Thibault Benistant takes his 8th career victory here, but what a place to do it at home in France.
Thibault was incredible in France, and I'm not sure if he was just energised by the fans or he was obviously feeling it that day. He won the first race, and it's always a nice feeling to go out and win the first race. You know, then the GP winner's right there, it's right in front of your face.
To do it at home with that pressure, with that expectation as well, shows that actually the kid has got what it takes to be MX2 World Champion. If it's this year, great, but certainly sometime in the future.
Who will it be that grabs that foxhole shot? Looking through, oh, riders get caught there. It was one of the Red Bull KTMs. And it was Adamo who's parked right at the back there. He tagged wheels with somebody down the start straight. Into second, here's how he did it. He was impressive down here in race 1. Going to cut back to the inside here, isn't he? Yes, he is. De Wolf thought he heard him to the left. Thought he'd got that mid part of the corner covered. Benistant just getting off the brakes. Switching line, going to the inside, and out Fox. Thibault Benistant, who will cross the line to win his home Grand Prix here in France. And Thibault Benistant with his 3rd Grand Prix victory in his career.
Coming into Villars-Sous-Écot, after Spain, there was a real problem or a real prospect of there being no sort of major French rider to cheer for, especially in the MXGP class. Because Maxime Renaux had a foot injury, you know, in Spain in the qualifying race where he just hopped on, hopped off. We didn't see it, but we saw him pulling off the track.
Just past pit lane is when he pulled up, but yeah, Maxime Renaux pulling off the track.
So it wasn't even a crash. But the result of that meant for sure he's out for the foreseeable future. And then Romain in the qualifying race in the first turn, going down.
So there's Romain Febvre, arrives here 3rd in the championship, 15 points behind Jeffrey Hurlings. The reps are up, heads are down, there'll be some elbows thrown as they charge down into turn 1. Prado coming across his teammate there immediately just to open up the first turn. Febvre down! Oh, big carnage! Febvre right at the bottom of it.
Yeah, I lost conscience there after the crash, and I felt like all my body was good, like I had no fracture or no pain. It's hard, especially for the people around who see that.
When there comes this type of accidents and situations, it's just lowest of the lowest feeling and scary. When you see your rider there, you know, and you don't know exactly what is the situation and stuff, so it's really tough.
Yeah, I knew the weekend was over and it just started, so the next goal for me was to know when I can ride.
Not knowing the implications at that time, would he be fit, and also would it be, you know, just a Romain Febvre at 60%, you know, just riding around to score points?
Let's catch up with home favourite Romain Febvre. Romain, firstly, just tell us how you're feeling after Spain.
Yeah, let's say not 100%, but this morning I felt much better, so I expect a little bit more today. But yeah, no pressure. I hope I can manage to fight close to the podium, yes.
But Febvre alongside Jeffrey Hurlings, these two fighting over third on the opening lap. Hurlings squeezes him to the inside though. Well, he doesn't. Febvre just says, no, that's mine. Moves the bullet aside. And the fans love that down there as well. Very much a home race. He looks to come around the outside of Prado. Can he lean on him? Well, he goes in, stands up as late as possible, gets good drive, but then so too does Prado. Almost off the side of the track there, and Prado keeps him to the outside because he knows he needs to control the inside at the top of the hill, but Siwa goes through. Siwa leads. Febvre looks like he's getting interested again. He's taken a couple laps. Maybe he has taken a couple laps, 3. And this time he gets alongside. And Prado, maybe not expecting that in such a short space of time. 2.5 or 2 seconds back, and all of a sudden, Febvre from out of nowhere strikes, moves into second position. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider rounds out the final turn. He'll head uphill. Takes his first race win of the 2023 season, and what a big win that is. Siwa, your winner from race 1. Third, Romain Febvre.
You know, I'm feeling very focused, relaxed, because the track is very special. Lots of ruts, very technical. So I just try to see or find the best possible lines, keep a lot of flow, don't make silly mistakes, just be free in this kind of track with this kind of lines and tricky technical bits. You know, everybody will make mistakes, so I try to avoid as much as possible and just focus on my own bubble. Like I wouldn't even care who is behind me.
I was just going to ride and just to try to be on the podium, but just like to ride and to feel good. And we saw that Jeremy was going fast.
But watching Romain ride around, actually, he looked very comfortable. He grew up about an hour and a half from there, so it's a venue that he's more familiar with. He won his first MXGP Grand Prix back in 2015 when he was champion. A lot of family, a lot of friends. There's an extra maybe 10% just lifting him up to want to perform for them. So from his side, he's only coming in, I think, with positive thoughts.
Merci à toi. Effectivement, on regarde un petit peu, tout le monde est redescendu sur notre...
Heads down, gates drop. Well, Jeremy Siwa winning race 1. He's definitely coming in here with a bag full of confidence to start a race 2. As Siwa once again, this time foxhole shot number 6 for the Yamaha man.
I took the start, I was second behind him, and then yeah, all the race, and actually I saw that we made a gap, and then I was with him all the time.
Thibault was leading, and he still is. Look at the top of the hill. Febvre still there in second, Prado third, Fernandez 4, the Landron 5, Hurlings 6, 7 Guillaume, Koldenhoff in 8th place. What's hanging off of Hurlings if we can go close up on him? And he can see he's losing positions here. He knows he's got an issue. The opposite side, is that the goggle strap? Is his goggle strap broken? Jeffrey Hurlings is going to have to come in for some running repairs and change those goggles. This will be interesting, because I'm not sure where the actual entry point to the goggle lane is. And Hurlings rejoins the race, and he is down in 20th position.
Unfortunately, yeah, the strap came out of the goggle. I cannot deny that.
Right, here's Jeffrey Hurlings. He's cruising. So Jeffrey Hurlings has another problem. What's gone wrong now?
Down the hill, some rider crashed, and his bike flipped, and it just hit the underside of my bike. And that, I believe that caused the issue.
So Jeffrey Hurlings, this is big for the championship, and Jorge Prado. Big moment in the championship for the bully. Yeah, foot peg hanging off, look. Broken foot peg, you can see it. Wow. Two things you don't see very often. A broken foot peg like that and a broken goggle strap, both happening to Jeffrey Hurlings here in race 2. How unlucky can you be?
Yeah, definitely it was in my mind to hunt down the red plate. And after that first moto, I was 4 points away, and I knew second moto I was going to be strong. I'm always strong. Things can change really quick, and that's unfortunately part of the sport, but it also keeps it very enthusiastic and keeps it being very interesting.
See how chewed up the racetrack is in these late stages. The sun's starting to disappear behind the clouds. But again, Romain Febvre closing in on Siwa. Siwa doesn't need to win the race to win the overall.
Sure, at certain point I was close, but not that close, so I was just like waiting, and then I say, yeah, if I have the opportunity, I take it.
For Febvre, it'll be much more than just a visit to the podium. To win a race here, to cross the line and celebrate, to please those guys and girls, that'll be a big moment. He's getting closer, and the volume is going up higher and higher here as they round through the first turn once again to start lap 12. All of a sudden, Siwa under pressure. He looks over his shoulder, he sees Febvre goes through. No response there from the Swiss rider. We have a new leader on lap 12, and it is finally the number 3 at Romain Febvre.
Honestly, could never ever expect what he did there, you know, like he came from the lowest of the lowest and then really bouncing back within 2 weeks, you know, to be on this form in front of his home crowd. So it was really a beautiful moment. He's such a strong guy, such a strong rider that I haven't seen many like him. Big respect.
Dream come true this for Romain Febvre. It's not going to be for the top step, but it will be for a race win at home, at his home Grand Prix. And listen to that reception. And now he celebrates. He's going to win race 2 here at Villars-Suzerain.
Yeah, home race in France, it's always always really good with the fans. And especially this one because it's really close to where I'm born. When you pass the finish line and everything, then you feel like they enjoy it, and that was nice to see.
Well, I mean, to win a GP even without fans is already amazing, but then you step on top of that podium and you have a look and it's just incredible, you know, especially it was packed, you know, and that's amazing, especially, yeah, it was so close to Switzerland, so the half of the start straight was red and white, and I knew some of these guys because they are like my kind of fan club, and they brought 1 or 2 cars, like buses full of people, like fans. Man, that feeling is amazing. You know, we worked so hard for so many hours and years, and then you are on top of the podium for just a few minutes, but it's a payback for anything.